Hello, everyone. Today I reacted very poorly to a situation involving my wife, and I'm not proud of it. Here, what it was about. So she was talking about how the printer was needing new ink cartridges, and she just said how much it was, and for some reason in my head, it just didn't feel right. I mean, money is always something hard to come by. It's not easy. It's not always easy. You have a ton of stuff to pay for, and you have a lot of pressure to be able to provide. You have so many things going on, and just the mention of money, it was enough to trigger some light or turn off some light in my head, and I just reacted poorly, very poorly in fact, and I was just angry. I didn't yell, but my demeanor was not great, and she told me, and with reason. That's another great example of how even though you try your best to do something right, it's always possible that you can go on a tangent and react poorly in a certain situation if it's a trigger point of some sort. I'm not saying that to make an excuse. There's no excuse for that. It was uncalled for, it was not right, and I apologize for that. It was not something that I'm proud of, and it's not a sign of someone that wants to become better. Because when you want to become better, it's not a matter of becoming better in just one area. It's about becoming a better person as a whole. And interpersonal relationships and communications are very important, are fundamental. And if I don't handle those well, then it's like if you have a big building with 100 stories and its basement is made of clay. It will not sustain much or for long. It will crumble, and very fast. So the things on which you base your behavior and your life in general must be aligned with what you want to become. See, I'm not perfect, but it's not an excuse for acting badly. It's not. I came across a nice interview from Tom Billier today on his show Health Theory, and they were talking about how going through pain is important to grow, and also the idea of always wondering why you do something, or wondering why certain things are as they are. So that's an interesting point of view. It correlates with the what if question. So I'm wondering why I acted like that earlier, and by asking myself the question, it's obvious to see that it was because of the money problems that can be a trigger point. And the next question is, I wonder why it is a problem. Well, in that situation, lack of money can be a problem because you have the pressure of not being able to pay stuff. And I don't mean having luxuries, but paying normal bills and what you need to pay, or else you could be in trouble. But those are not interesting at all. It's adding pressure and it's adding stress to life. It's not an interesting feeling. And at this point, when you feel trapped, because even though you're working and you're lucky enough to be able to have a job, to work and be able to have a paycheck from time to time, and you realize that it's not enough, you tend to work more. And then there's a problem of not having enough hours in a day to do more because you're too tired, because you're too exhausted. So that's why. So the idea behind that is not to make this an excuse for just complaining. I see this more as a nice opportunity to do things differently. The idea would be to find other means of revenue to be able to pay for the bills, to be able to pay for whatever is needed, and then later on be able to pay for luxuries, but for now be able to pay for what is required. I'm working on that, but it adds stress. Can be painful to have to think about all of this and not finding an easy way out. I mean, the problem is simple. The solution is simple as well, but the execution of it all is something different. I want to be a good role model, and doesn't show a great example to my kids if I snap or if I get angry with simple problems. It doesn't show composure and calm and control over situations. Because it's okay to be angry, sure. It's okay to feel sad. It's all good. But it doesn't mean that throughout all those emotions that others need to suffer. It's not because you're having a bad day that others should as well. It doesn't serve any purpose to contaminate someone else's day. We all have bad days, but it's our bad day. It shouldn't be someone else's. That's how I see it. So the moral of today is be sure to think before you talk. That's certainly something I need to work on because you could regret it. Reacting out of proportions to a certain situation and not acting as the best version of yourself might not be something that you will be proud of after the fact. And why not just skip this altogether and just be nicer? Understanding what others are going through is one of the steps to understand how to communicate. Also, for a lack of time this week, I'm afraid I need to apologize to you because I was planning to have something special today and I was not able to get around that. So I'm sorry for that. I'll do better next time and I'll keep you posted about the progress of that. But for now, it will be delayed a bit. Also, I always forget about that. Please subscribe if you like what you get from here and please give a thumbs up if you appreciate that. And if you don't, or if you disagree, please use the thumb down and add a comment to start a conversation to see if we can agree to disagree or just understand each other better. But starting by talking will be a great step in understanding. So till tomorrow, ciao.